Shalom, beautiful people. As you can tell, I was in my own space, was not planning on opening up to the collective today, but I was told to do so, and I'm in the midst of a breakdown of an energy right now, so we're just going to jump right in. I am going to send a quick prayer up, and two, that I am able to deliver any messages to the collective in which the Most High deems worthy. Ancestors, ascended masters, spiritual teams, angels, you're already here, but allow me to communicate and see and do the things in the way in which you deem worthy as well. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Okay, so I have a very nervous energy right now. Okay. I think that part of this is because of this energy that I'm tapping into, and it has to do with the need for the collective to stop placing expectations on an outcome. That's what we're breaking down here. And it has to do with judge people. I think that's why I'm feeling a little anxious, because this is hitting very close to home right now. This is a part of a healing process that I'm going through with my inner child. The whole judge people, you know, you hear hurt people, all of that, judge people. And a lot of us have this energy because it is attached to our inner child. And as a child, that's when we start to develop all of these different masks, start to manipulate the way that we operate in order to appease other people's perspective of us, whether it stems from bullying, whether it stems from abuse, whether it stems from self-perception, whether it stems from, I heard, condescending parents. There's a multitude of different ways in which a child will develop an ego. And I believe that that is when the ego is most high, is like most prevalent. If I said that right, I don't know. So I pray that you guys just have patience with me, because this is hitting very close to me and I'm already getting emotional about it. So it's gonna be one of those. Oh, my eyes are watery. But there is this need to detach from our internal expectation. We spoke on this in the last reading when it comes to relationships, on this internal expectation of who somebody else is supposed to be when they enter into our lives and how they're supposed to operate. And when they don't operate in that way, how we ourselves take it personally and how we ourselves place judgment on that person and decide that they are not good enough to exist in our space. Now, because I am in the middle of healing this energy personally, I have a very strong attachment to this, because in my perspective, I'm like, well, absolutely. If there's a part of my perspective where I'm like, absolutely. If they don't act right, they can move the fuck on, right? If you don't act right, the door is open for you to leave, and it will close once you exit, type of attitude. That's an attitude that I do have, right? That's an attitude that many people develop. But what I'm picking up is there's this sort of defensiveness that's coming from the collective, and we have to make the choice to change our perspective on the whole judgment energy and placing our judgments on outside people in the way in which they're supposed to react to us. Because this energy is keeping us in a lack mindset. It's only keeping us in a lack mindset. Did you hear the bird's confirmation? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna clear what I have on here, okay? I'm actually gonna clear this too Spirit, please guide me in this message so that I can assist the collective in the way in which you deem worthy. I want to be able to help them understand and help myself to understand and move through this energy and heal it. Because there is a deep healing that comes with this. There's a deep wound within the collective that comes from this. For some reason, I just saw a magazine cover with a woman displayed on it. And it's not a natural formed woman. Like instantly you look at her and you know like she had work done, right? It's the needing to manipulate the way that you were created to appease an image or to appease an onlooker's perspective. Instead of going within and appeasing. It's not even about appeasement, it's about loving the way that you were created. Loving the fact that you're an individual. Our society is so entrenched in taking people out of their individuality and making it extremely difficult to get back to their center and purpose. Our society is structured in ways of creating slaves. If you think slavery is dead, you're wrong. Slavery has mutated into a different body, into a different way. Slavery is now of the mind. It's not just of the mind, it is of the physical, because slavery is entrenched in the monopoly. I'm going to say that again. Slavery is entrenched in the monopoly. It's like if you don't speak the right things, if you don't say the right things, you're not going to get the attention that other people get. And that's not just from the people and the way in which their mind has been manipulated now, but it's also in the way in which the monopoly has manipulated what the eyes are able to see. Censorship is very fucking real. Yeah. It's not something that is... Okay. I'm rocking. This is what I do now. I seem to rock. It's almost like a comfort to me to rock. Now what are we getting? Now we're getting all of this happy-go-lucky energy, but I just heard dig deeper. Dig deeper. Then it's all threes. It's all threes. This is everything that just came out. This is a very happy-go-lucky energy. This is all threes. This is at the bottom of the deck. This is all threes. What are we doing here? I'm getting a strong warning, like and I just heard everything is not as it seems. Everything is not as it seems. Maybe these are the ways in which we have been manipulated out of our purpose with the ego. I'm mainly focused on this card right here, because this card is entrenched in purpose. This card is entrenched in our individual ways of expressing our own creativity. And creativity comes in many different ways, collective. Creativity is not just a paintbrush on a fucking palette. Creativity can be with numbers. Creativity can be in a chemist. I just saw a chemist lab. Creativity comes in many different ways. And what is happening is that there is such a strong hold. I just saw someone's foot on someone's neck. There's such a strong hold in trying to suffocate this out of the society in order to mutate them, in order to play a part in the machine that has been built, in the machine that has been, and I just saw literally like the WEF. But we have to bring this back down to the individual ability to combat this energy. We have to get back to the judge people energy, because this is how you're stifled. I'm getting that the society has displayed to us what is king and queen energy, what is royalty energy. And the reality is, what is displayed to us as royalty is not at all what it seems, or what is played out. What is played out? I heard it's an illusion. What's the illusion? And now I'm staring at this card, right? What's the illusion? What does the illusion have to do with this? And you see all the fairy dust, right? I just heard cover thyself. Cloak. I heard she should be naked. What the fuck are we tapping into? I heard she should be naked. Why? I'm getting drawn back to the ego. She should be naked. The only reason why she's dressed is because of the ego, is because of what society told her she's supposed to look like. But she should be naked. She should be free of all the clothing. She shouldn't have to have that giant fucking hat on while she's out fishing. She should be naked. She should be one with the environment, one with the earth. The only reason why she is dressed in such a way is because society told her that's the way she's supposed to present herself. This is not just about men or women. This is about men too. She should be naked. And I can literally see the fairy dust coming in around her, kind of like if you've ever seen Beauty and the Beast, the original like animated version. Isn't there a part where, yeah, he gets like, when he transforms from the beast back into the prince because the curse is broken, but there's like a wave of smoke around him that basically tears away all of the, I'm getting like tearing away all of the ego and transforming back into the individual, inspired, pure, loved royalty that they actually are. She should be naked. That keeps ringing in my head. She should be safe, free, able to be naked. Like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that right now. I heard disrespecting the body. And I wonder if this is as a child, how most of our ego is developed. Because the ego, again, is a protection mechanism. The ego is a way in which we blend. An ego is so that we don't stand out of the crowd, right? An ego is the mask so that we can blend in. And many people have multiple different masks, like hats, right? That they can choose from to go with the outfit in which they have on that day. But she should be naked. There should be no fucking mask to place on self. The reason why we place the mask is so that judged, so that we're not judged. I feel like I'm in a way talking in a circle, but I feel like some people have such this fear of judgment, like of the overall judgment. And it's not karma, because karma is justice. Judgment is Saturn energy, right? We have such a fear of this harsh, like, I just saw a judge with the gavel, like just this harsh, like, boom, 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 this harsh. But in reality, the gavel is always, the gavel is like, I just keep on seeing the gavel hit the circular thing. Is that what it's called? The gavel? I don't know. Is the gavel the ego? It's like the tool that we use. I don't know. Let's get some tarot to help us break this down a little bit more. Please help me. And then the first card out is the Magician. This is the tools. I'm getting the Magician in this sense as the tools that we use to manipulate ourselves in order to appease society in a way. What's at the bottom with the High Priestess? I heard we have become the master alchemist and as disguising and blending in, but now it's time to become the master alchemist at shedding the skin in which does not serve us anymore, because our individuality is the only way that we're going to be able to move forward. It no longer lies in the mask. Ace of Cups. There's a gift, there's an emotional gift that comes in from releasing yourself. You see the freedom again, from feeling the freedom of being able, she should be naked. You see how she's halfway there, but she still has so much more to go. She should be naked. I feel like, okay. I feel like many people have done the work to heal or are I'm getting root work. There's root work that's going on, but right now it needs to ascend, because I feel like the head, I'm getting the head as the society. right? This is a very macro type of energy that I'm picking up. This is very macro. Like the individuals have done the root work to feel free and to take those masks and transmute it. Now we're getting to the heart of the situation and why it happened in the first place. Understanding why that had to happen in the first place. Understanding how that's affecting society and the karmic cycles in which society plays out, because it's not just an individual karmic cycle, it's a societal karmic cycle as well. And we have to be able to see, we have to be able to connect the fairy dust. We have to be able to see how this is playing out on the macro as well. We can't just hide in the micro anymore. And once we are able to take that off and expose the heart of the collective, the society as a whole is going to be able to change. But she needs to be naked. She has to be naked. She should be naked. Collective. You see all these women. She should be naked. She shouldn't have to hide her beauty or transform herself in order to appease somebody else's eyes. In order for her to look in the mirror and feel like she is enough, she should be naked. You see how they're naked. Thank you. I just heard keep going, you're doing amazing. Thank you. And this is 8-8. Sorry. This is 8 of coins, 8 of, what is this? Cups. 8 of coins, 8 of cups. This is 9 of cups right here. A love of self, I'm getting. The skills that we have, the faith in which we move, and the skills in which we've built to get to this point all stems from a love of self, which in turn is going to ripple out into the love of each other. And a love of who we are as individuals, not as who we think somebody should be according to our perspective of life. Because our perspective is individual. It is not macro. Our perspective starts at the individual self. Look at how free they are. Look at how free they are to express themselves in love in the way in which they deem worthy, and nobody is around to judge them or place judgment on where it is they choose to express that. Not that I'm saying people should just be able to have like sex in the street, but maybe, I don't know, maybe, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Here's my ego. My shadow is like, well, baby. My shadow's like, can I peek my head in now? The freedom. It's about the freedom. The freedom. Look at this. The beast. Taking on the beast head on and not running from it. This is both inner standing and overstanding. The understanding and the overstanding, right? Taking on that beast head on. Collective, a lot of us have taken the time to integrate those parts of ourselves. And because we've done so, because we're not afraid of the battle and we're not afraid to look darkness in its face and face it, not run from it, that is going to ripple out now. It's starting to ripple out, collective. You see so many truths coming out. You see society demanding change. You see people in society no longer bending a knee to the will of an entity that nobody can see, that is a machine, that we have the ability that is only powered by the people. If the people choose to say no and fucking fight back, the power of that beast no longer can exist. She should be naked. She shouldn't have to transmute herself in order to fit into something that doesn't even serve her in the first place, or him. I want my men to realize the only reason why I'm saying she should be naked is because that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. But this definitely applies to the men as well. This is our society. This is realizing that we cannot go back into a monarchy fucking stage of reality. And we are coming out of a I don't know why I can't say the word right now. Like, we used to live in a society that was ran by women, right? And the women were the women kept themselves enclosed and used the men as the spokespeople for what it was that they were saying to run societies. The men were the messengers, right? The men were the messengers. And then the men started manipulating what it was that the women were actually saying, and they became the ones who ran the show. Now, the ones who run the show are being torn down, and people are wanting it to go back into the women running the show. But can you not see how that's a circle? That's a cycle. It's a karmic cycle. You see how they are equal. They are equally free. We need equal freedom. Women cannot be without men. Men cannot be without women. I don't care what you say. That's the reality of it. If women were able to procreate on their own on this dimension, and maybe they were, but I just don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's still a part of what I am discovering when it comes to the way in which our bodies were formed. So I don't know on that. But from what I've seen, even when women ran in certain covens, they needed men to come into the coven and impregnate them in order to move along. They couldn't impregnate themselves. They needed a man to do that. This is not men or women ruling a society. This is men and women ruling together equally, because we need both. We need both. Women need someone to build, and men need someone to nurture. Right? Men need someone to be able to nurture them and nurture the family. Women need someone to build. Women need someone who can I just saw that's so beautiful. I just saw a man wrapping his arms around his woman and her just like nuzzling her head into his chest. Like we have to stop. One should rule over the other, because if one doesn't, then our world is fucked. No, we need to rule together. We have to learn how to balance ourselves and rule together. And I believe that the only reason why we don't is because we've been manipulated And our egos play such a huge role in the way in which we move in society. And again, this is placing an expectation of how one should move in the presence of another. That judge people energy. Like, no. I just heard, let my tits hang. Okay. What? Some women just want to let their tits hang. I let mine hang. I don't give two fucks. I stopped buying bras, I don't know how many years ago now. I threw all of my bras away. I was like, this is not for me. I'm so sick and tired of having to prop up. No. For what? For prying eyes to see? No, we're not doing that. I do not do that. I don't fucking... Okay, how did we get here? Look. Pushing the boundaries of society and starting a new journey forward. Getting back to the root of us, the root of how it is we're supposed to operate, the root of where it is that we come from, the root of rituals, the root of healing, the root of understanding, the root of respect. It's getting to the root and starting a new journey from there. I heard the breath of life. It's getting. Look, and she's back at the bottom. This is all about the healing journey, collective, healing the mask. We have to do this on an individual level so that it can be done on a macro level. Some of us still have certain work to do. I know myself, I still have so much, I have a certain type of inner child work that needs to be done right now. And it's really funny because I'm actually employing this mushroom to help me do it. It's on its way to my house. This mushroom has so much significance in our folklore, and we have been told that it is toxic and it kills people. Now, I don't know. You know, I know it has to be cooked a certain type of way in order for it to work a certain type of way. So it's Amanita, if you guys are interested. I just bought some. It's on its way. It's going to be here Monday. I'm super excited. Look. Underneath healing. 10 of Cups. We stopped placing this expectation on what is supposed to be and started going with the flow and flowing with life and the blessings that come in and the way in which society chooses to maneuver is so incredibly bright that it's like, look at the baby though. The baby is all open arms. The baby is like, look at the inner child. The inner child is like, I see you, come get me. I don't have to blind my fucking eyes. I see. Look at the egos, the adults who have to shield their eyes from the fucking strength and reality of what is to come because of the masks that they've had to place upon themselves. Right? This baby has no masks. This baby doesn't need to have masks. For what? This baby is just a baby. It's just a baby. It's just a sweet baby. Look, and the wisdom. You guys, the new leadership. I just heard new leadership that's coming in. New roles. New rituals. New ways of following society. New respect. There's a new respect level too. I have this feeling like I just keep hearing it shouldn't be one ruling over the other. It should be like it's a soup. So everything is equally in the pot. Everything has its own seasoning. And I'm getting this around religion and like the expectations of religion on other religions, or practices and rules on other practices and rules. It should not be one believes that theirs is the best over the other. When in reality, almost every single religion that I've ever seen, all of them worship false idols. All of them. I'm going to say it again. All religions worship a false idol. All of them. All of them give power to false idols. And you wonder why that has rippled down into our society today, and the way in which people fucking cry when they see famous people. And then back in the day, I just heard purged. Back in the day, other belief systems purged opposing belief systems over their own false idols. Called other ones heathens and placed them in their books as heathens and witches and the irony of it all is fucked. The irony of it all. I just heard final spread, so we're going to get a final spread because we're already 40 minutes in. This is definitely one that I'm going to have to watch back. And then I just heard we're going to do some housekeeping at the end of this reading as well. There needs to be an understanding of how, yeah, we'll talk about that later. Let's get a final spread before we do the housekeeping, please. My ancestors really don't play. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. Purification. Look at this. People are recognizing that the way in which we operate is no longer working. It just does not work. It's not working. It is not working. I just saw a chain around somebody's neck. Like, it's not working. And there's such a fight. It's time to leave that which has been done and move on to, I'm getting 7 of coins energy. It's time to leave the barren land and move on to a way in which people can operate in their individual realities. And it's time for us to build each other up instead of tearing each other down, consistently tearing each other down. I even see it from people. I see it from people who I love dearly, and fucking I see almost every time I go on to whatever it is, I see them tearing people down in one way, shape, or form. And I don't even know if they realize it. And it's fine, because it's something that we're working through. We all have to learn from it. I understand it's a part of the healing process, but you have to be able to recognize in the ways in which you do it yourself. This is a part of the reason why my channel is changing as well, and the way in which I present myself. Because I know the healing that I have to do. I know the way in which I judge people. I'm not ignorant to it. I live it. I hear it. I think the judged people judge people is more prevalent now than the hurt people hurt people. Once we get to the root, I think judgment is the root of the hurt, right? I think the hurt is the Band-Aid, the hurt. It's about judgment. It's all about judgment. It's all about perspective on how other people are supposed to present themselves and how other people are supposed to show up in our lives. Why do we place that expectation on the outside people instead of placing that expectation on ourselves? How do you show up for self? Are you catering to you? Or are you constantly showing out your energy or shoveling out your energy to others before you shovel that energy into yourself? This is why I was talking that one, I don't remember what reading, about not having to give offerings before you give it to yourself. Giving more power to something outside of self. This is what they want you to do. They want you to continue to give power to something outside of self instead of honoring the individual self first. Because if you understood your own power, you would realize and recognize the ways in which you are being manipulated by the outside forces. I'm hearing that we need to read this one, so we're going to read this one. Okay. Nothing here. Time to replenish, diminishing yourself for another. The empty well reveals that there is nothing for you here. The well is dry and the desert is encroaching on your once fertile garden. It is time to face the harsh reality and move on. Give gratitude and thanks for the abundance you have experienced and let spirit guide you to your next destination. This might mean saying goodbye to someone or something or insisting on changing the rules of the game. Society is insisting that the rules are changed. We are no longer accepting the fact that we should have to manipulate ourselves in order to appease a machine. No, absolutely not. That machine works for us. We, the people. The machine works for us, the people. I don't give a fuck where you reside. You don't have to be in the States. You can be in Ireland where all the farmers are banding together and creating their own fucking reality against their government. You could be in France where the farmers are putting manure on government buildings and setting it on fire, saying, no, you work for us. This is our shit. What the fuck are you talking about? We can't do this, we can't do that. The young British people are now telling the government, we will not fight your war. For what? For what? Whose war? Whose kids are you sending to battle for what? I don't think so. They laughed that shit off, and the government had zero fucking power after that. The people will not stand for this. The people will not stand for the monopoly. Stop diminishing yourself for the sake of another. Making yourself small will not produce the results you want. There is a lack of reciprocity of give and take. The empty well tells you that it is time to reclaim what is yours and return what does not belong to you. The shadows cast in your direction are not of your making. Ashe. The shadows cast in your direction are not of your making. You do not need to react or respond to them as they are not real. Simply shine your light upon them and see how it dispels them. These shadows are projections that you are confusing for reality. And this has to go with your projection of how somebody else is supposed to show up in your life. This has to go from the macro to the individual now. This is our judgment on others. This is how we expect other people to show up in our lives for us, instead of allowing people to just live in the way in which they do and asking them questions on why they chose to do certain things that they did and having an understanding. Yeah, from there. It's a completely different mindset. It's a completely different mindset. It is so empowering to trust yourself, to be who you are and to live in the way in which you do, and allowing the people who are magnetized to that energy show you who they are and whether they choose to live in the way in which, it's not whether they choose to live in the, see how I almost fucked that up. I was going to say, and whether they choose to live in the way in which you would want them to choose. And no, it's not that. It's not even that. You see how I'm moving through this with you guys. This is why I had to turn on the camera. Because this is a... It's letting them live. It's having the deep trust within self to be able to see and feel other people's reality, and asking questions along the way, not placing judgment on them. See, I can't even put it all together because this is a yeah. Oh, now I'm starting to stutter. I'm going to say it again. These shadows are projections that you are confusing for reality. You may have been offered a shovel to help you dig yourself out of an uncomfortable situation, a bucket to drink from the well. But you cannot dig yourself out of this hole, and remember that there is no water to be found in that well. Receive the empty well as a gift. Do not exert your energy or waste your resources by repairing the walls, or mending the rope. I'm going to read that again. Receive the empty well as a gift. Do not exert your energy and waste your resources by repairing the walls or mending the rope. Follow the water course way, the aquifers that run deep in the earth, and you will be led to a new spring oasis. You can find these underground streams, these rich natural resources in the subterranean depths of your own heart. Ashe. And then the world is at the bottom of the deck, and I did shuffle this a couple times. This is rebalancing the reality in which we live in, not just as the individual, but as society as a whole. I feel like we should end it there. I just love it that it's 7 too, because 7 is the number of purification. This is a purification process. This is realizing that we can no longer place band-aids on what is simply just not working. We have to get to the root cause, and we have to move on. The way in which we are moving as the individual and the way in which we are moving as the society is drastically shifting. And welcome to the dragon era. Burn the bitch down. Burn the bitch down. Absolutely. Look, and the 6 of Cups. Woo! The 5 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. Taking what you can and leaving the fucking rest. Rescuing that inner child. If you guys did not see Queen Cups last reading, I highly suggest that you go and watch it, because it was just so spot on. And she made me, I cried in her reading. She started talking about the inner child work. Actually, I think we're done here. I think we're done here. I'm gonna stop this here. That was a great way to end the reading. Okay. I love you guys so much. I thank you guys for being here. And just remember, if there's still healing that you have to do, it's what we're here to do. Congratulate yourself for coming this far. Oh, I just got reminded of the house cleaning. Quick house cleaning. A1 day ones, as Jazz would call them. The people who have followed me for a while, yeah. First of all, I really, really love you guys. I love all of you. Anyways, even if you don't follow me and you watch the videos, I love you guys. Okay. I have a lot of gratitude for you. Okay. I just heard transactional energy. There's some transactional energy that's going on, okay? I understand transactional energy, but I don't really play in it. I don't play in that realm. So if you're here just because you expect something from me in return, outside of what I'm doing, energetically delivering the messages in the way in which God asks me to do, in the way in which the Most High asks me to do, then you're in the wrong space. I am not in a space, and I have not been in a space for transactional energy in a long time. Yeah? So if you're here simply because you want something from me in return, in a sense outside of what I'm doing with the messages, you're in the wrong place. The door is open. You can leave in the way in which you came. I do not operate and I do not thrive off of the screens. Yeah? If these were taken away, I would still thrive. I would still thrive. I am not dependent upon this. I am not dependent upon eyeballs. You understand me? So if you're not here for the right reasons, you can see yourself out the door in which you came. I don't give a fuck. Yeah? I don't care. I don't care. My ancestors do not play when it comes to me. The transactional energy is not the way in which I operate. I don't operate in that way. Period. I'm not allowed to. Do you understand me? I'm not allowed to. So if you have a higher expectation of the way in which I'm supposed to move towards you because you think that you're doing me a favor by showing face, no. No, 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 no. 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 It's not how we operate. Not on this side. That was my house cleaning, okay? I love you guys so much. Again, my heart just was like, ooh, I love you. I seriously, I love you guys so much. I thank you for being here. But again, if you're here for the wrong reasons, you can see yourself out the way in which you came. It don't bother me. It does not bother me. All right, we're gonna end. I will see you guys soon, okay? Keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you do. Keep healing. Keep working. Keep going through the things. If you guys need anything from the apothecary, let me know. If you guys need any personal readings, let me know. If you guys have things that are going on and you want to be able to really get to the root cause of it, we can do a reading, and then I will send you a sample of something. It's a package that I'm going to be putting together. So if it's something that you're interested in, you can comment below, you can message me, you can email me. It is not on the website yet because I actually believe that I'm going to be redoing the whole entire website and going into a different platform. So I'm not doing any website work because it's a waste of my energy, right? It's a waste of my energy right now. So I'm not touching it. But yeah. And I'm open to do that with you, okay? I love you guys.